Presented by Lazy Boy Studios. Previously on Dungeon Tales.
What you thought at first was a cliff, you now realize is a building. You see what looks like arrow slots for people as defenders. It looks kind of like it might have been some form of fortress.
Also, we should probably find the girl's body once they're done and sell her clothing. It's probably worth a lot.
Or if she's alive, we could just sell her.
Oh, good thinking, good thinking.
This is
For
what
all of our
happens
listeners.
when you have a chaotic neutral party, I guess.
Hey man, I understand you have problems, but I have bills to fucking pay.
You don't, you're a monk.
Someone's got to pay for my food and my living and my boot care.
Your boot care.
All his money goes into boot care, like hundreds of gold.
I use all the money so I can get insider information about boots. I
Okay.
can find out where my boot is.
She goes, the commander had some boots that he liked.
Can you direct me to this commander?
Can you remove the curse on this place?
Can I remove the curse?
Yes.
Is that what you said? What do I gotta do?
Gotta kill the priest.
Oh yeah, sure.
Kill the
That's
priest
easy.
and remove his source of power. Like almost the equivalent of sunlight. Like these plants should not be
Okay.
alive. They're indoors.
Mm-hmm.
But you see like berry bushes that are kind of overgrown that have probably taken over most of the garden by this point. In the middle, you do see the commander guy. And he's standing there with a fuck off longbow that's bigger than Plop.
I go, hey, commander, dude, I was wondering, could you direct me to where the priest is? Because apparently I'm supposed to kill him and take his source of power so that you guys can all be free. And I'd send this all via telepathy.
All you get back is the term, or is the feeling of the curse must end, and the girl was the only way.
Wait. Did you sacrifice the princess person?
You immediately get an image that there's two giant stone doors behind, like that lead further in, and you see an altar, and she's laying there.
Oh, okay. Hey, Jareth, Mark, Dude Face, I forget your name.
Gareth,
Fredsworth, right, I remember. Gareth, can you go and fight this dude for a little bit? I'm gonna go through those stone doors and we're gonna see what happens. Plop, quick question. Do you want to fight Commander with Gareth, or do you want to help me save the princess?
I'll go with you to save the princess.
Sounds good. So, Gareth, get the boot. Don't hurt the boot, please. Thank you. Take the girl, and I rush over to where the fighting is, and I go, Stop! I've done it. I have saved the world.
roll charisma.
Persuasion?
No, it's gonna be solid
No.
fucking charisma.
I apparently stuttered and stumbled every step of the way.
They
'cause
don't
I got a
even
nat
fucking
one.
notice you walk in. Like, you see, like, half
Alright.
the helmet is, like, missing from the plate mail guy, and you see scales that are thicker than yours.
All right, so I take out my horn and I just fucking blow it and like, bitch, listen to what I gotta say.
It, like, starts pouring holy water on it, dispel magic things, remove curses, and you see it finally turn to ash, and you see the revenant just drop and disintegrate into ash.
So you hear me screaming, the boot! And I want to inspect it to make sure if it's the right boot or not. And I got a 10.
It is the incorrect boot. It is for the correct foot.
But it's the wrong company.
Well, you see that it's inscribed with runes.
Oh, okay.
You suspect there was probably another boot that's been destroyed to history. But it fits you.
So I pick it up and I'm like, this is useless! I throw it away.
It would fit you. And you also see the cloak there and bits and pieces of the armor.
So I pick up the cloak and I wrap it around my shoulders.
Okay.
All right.
You guys make
Okay.
it back to the ship. They're very happy. They lavish you with praise. They promise once you guys get to the city, they'll pay for your accommodations. They're going to give you a reward. Hello, and welcome to Dungeon Tales tonight. I am Rain, the DM for this future campaign that we're going to be doing for a while. Tonight we have our 2 adventurers. Chris, say hello.
Hello. It is I, Chris, and I play a character called Noodle, who is a gem dragonborn, who is an emerald dragonborn, who's a monk. And yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say about that. Oh, also, I'm searching for my last shoe. I have the perfect pair, and one of them is missing. And my goal is to eventually find the match again.
All right, and Mark, say hello.
Hello.
Do you want to tell us about your character?
No, but I will anyways. His name is Chirper, and he is a wind-blessed Kenku ranger. And wind-blessed means that he is a Kenku that has actual functioning wings, so he can fly.
Awesome.
I just get the picture he has like a second set of wings.
That'd be kind of cool, like 4 wings.
Yeah. Like he has back wings just for flying,
Mark
and then he
McNutt.
has his other wing-like
McNutt.
hands.
But he also has arms.
True. All right.
I mean,
so
that
just
would
to
be the
catch everyone,
scariest penguin I've ever seen, to be honest.
Well, penguins can't fly, so if they start
Exactly,
flying in the
but
first place, that'd be
Kenku
scary.
traditionally cannot fly also.
true.
Well, maybe not traditionally, but D&D wise.
I mean, traditionally they were Japanese demons.
Right.
All right.
Right.
I'm turning Japanese. I really think so. Okay.
Chris, you're gonna have to remove that for copyright reasons.
Honestly, I think it's okay if he just mentions it. It's not like he is singing the song.
Sony suddenly like busts through the door. They're like, "We're taking the 5 cents from this episode."
No! Not all my money!
Okay, so I'll give us a slight recap. I'm gonna go over the world a little bit more so people kind of know what's going on.
Sure. So this is technically like episode 1 of this.
Yes, just so everyone knows, this is going to technically be episode 1 of the start of the campaign. We did the one shot. I've probably put 50 to 80 hours into just stuff for this campaign so far, and a future probably 200 will be into it. Those of you who are going to be on our Patreon, you'll start seeing a lot more stuff soon for all this. You'll start seeing the classes I've made for this. Mark has been helping a whole bunch with the races, classes, things like that. Quite a few characters that will be introduced next week and future weeks who will be joining us. They've also helped a lot. So here it is. Welcome to Aurora, the land of floating isles, the land of the dead gods, and the land of cataclysms. When we last saw Noodle, he was on an airship. He had just helped take down the Revenant of the Raven, and he had actually just helped save a young girl. So basically, right now, we're on the layer where it's all continents. Everything is just floating isles. You have your ships, things like that. We're going to kind of fast forward from where we were. So, Noodle, you're back on the ship. The paladin-looking knight guy is there with you.
Okay.
He does have this young girl with him, who you helped save. You did get a boot, but it is sadly not the right boot.
I don't remember what I did in the episode, but I feel like I just tossed it away. Like, this is garbage! And I threw it over my shoulders.
Well, you also realize it was for the wrong foot.
Yeah, I know. Which is annoying because I thought it was the right foot because I thought the skeleton was wearing. Honestly, I forget if I said it's on my left foot or my right foot. I think
I'm going to say left.
left. Okay.
As
in, I have a boot on my left foot?
Yeah, you have a boot on your left foot, but your other one is just a clawed foot.
Okay.
A lot of people wonder whether or not you're dragon-blooded, which is like an actual species of people almost. It's kind of like a subtype.
I thought you were like being facetious. I was like,
no, like they're like, is he just a dragon person, or is he like dragon-blooded, mutated? because they do eventually mutate. So you have this big old knight-looking guy who's covered in scales. Is holding this girl who's wearing a gold and silver dress, and you guys are kind of heading back to the ship. You guys get there, you get on board. They all of the race that were there are now gone. Right before you get to the ship, though, he turns to you and introduces himself as Jurgen.
All right. I feel like he did tell us his name last time.
He did not tell you his name.
Oh, he didn't?
Nope.
I feel like you told me his name outside of recording.
Probably. Hopefully we'll do some more planning sessions and we can do things like that. But also, people will be able to see it in the background of the extra stuff I want to put up.
Yeah, that's fine. Jurgen, I don't give a fuck who you are. We no longer needed. I found out that is not really the boot I wanted. You found your mistress. We're good to go.
Mistress, this is Lady Margaret.
Fancy.
He goes, did you not come to help save the girl?
I mean, it helped save the boot in the long run. So, yes.
What do you do with said boot, by the way? You do see it's, engraved.
I guess I'll take it with me. I can at least get some coin for it.
Okay. There was a book on the altar, which I think Plop had.
Yep.
Which I don't know if you want to yoink, since he is not currently here today. He's kind of in a bit of a daze.
Plop got disconnected too physically.
Yeah, he's just, hey man. Too much chemical reagents got into his bloodstream.
Yeah, I might as well. I'll take the tome that he picked up and just yank it out. And be like, all right, Plop. Bye.
All right. So he comes back on the ship. You go on the ship. The Count comes out. You find out his name is Count Teal. Yes, as in the color. And Countess Greyjoy. With an E because she's English.
Did she get her dick cut off?
No.
Game of Thrones reference for those people who understand.
I got that after I thought for a second. House Greyjoy. Salt and iron.
Right, what is dead may never die.
So they are super happy with you. Like, oh my god, you're a great adventure. And thank you so much for saving your daughter. We'd like to offer you
saving
boarding.
your daughter?
No.
She's my kid?
They're like, we might be part of the Draconis Empires, but no. So you quickly find out they're minor nobility. They're actually in charge of the town that you're going to, which is Ashenberg.
Right.
So the ship gets there in about a day. They offer you room and board with them. The Count says he does want to talk to you. Like, he has a job offer for you and maybe possible data and information after you go on about your boot for a bit.
Hey, look, pal, I appreciate the offer, but last time someone said they had a job offer for me, I ended up on the black casting couch and I did not know what was about to happen. That was a bit terrifying for me, so I'm just, thank you for the offer, but I'm going to search for my boot, and if I need any assistance, I'll check in with you. How about that?
He goes, all right, well, I mean, I did hear about a boot that was supposedly special.
I'm listening.
Come visit me in 2 days.
Better not be a black hatch there.
No, I'll make sure it's not black. It'll probably be teal.
Oh, that's ugly, but okay.
So you land. The ship comes into port. You notice it's probably similar to a minor city. It's mostly a trade hub since it's very centered to all the main regions.
Mm-hmm.
You see dragon knights in the sky, which are people riding drakes. You do notice there's a couple sentry bots, which are kind of like these high-powered, magical, flying cameras, basically.
Instead of Warforged?
Kind of, but they fly. Kind of think like a probe from StarCraft in design. So people will, like, if like delinquents will throw rocks at them, but the problem is if you hit like a sentry bot, it calls the brass men, which are giant, like 9 foot tall, like warforged golems,
Mm.
and they're part of the police force.
So if I'm ever attacked in the city, use one of them as a shield.
Yes, absolutely. So what do you do when you land?
So I guess I have a couple days. I guess I should go find room and board because I could take it with them, but you know,
You don't want to
they're
wind up
high.
on the couch.
That's right. I don't want to wake up on the couch, and also they're a high influential family. I don't want that to sullen my searching request because they think I'm of noble blood or whatever. So it makes it easier for me to go into the street urchin areas if I look as the squalid man that I am.
I see. Okay.
So I guess the first thing I'll do is I'll start my search. I have 2 days. I don't need that much sleep. I mean,
All right. Let's roll perception.
okay.
Roll me 3 times, and then we're gonna go to Mark.
Roll perception 3 times.
Investigation, since you're
Oh,
trying to find
investigation.
rumors.
All right, well, I got 20 on perception.
Okay. What did you get on investigation?
I got a 15 on investigation.
Okay.
It was almost a nat 20 though.
So close, but so far away. All right, Mark, you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. So, Mark, you actually, you know Count Teal. That's why you're
All
in
right.
town. So, you are waiting for him to come back. Do you want to describe your character a bit and where they came from?
His name is Chirper, and he is 4 feet tall. He is a Kenku, which basically he looks sort of like a bird person. He has a crow-like beak, yellow eyes, all black feathers. That it, or did you want to say a little bit more about him?
That's fine. I didn't know if you want to describe yourself a little bit more, or if you're just fine with that description.
It's Chirper's Tinder profile.
Yeah, I like long flights on
the
the wind at sunset.
taking walks at midnight.
And he also has a wingspan of 12 and a half feet.
Now it's definitely his Tinder profile.
Yeah, you see my wing size.
So you said,
But while they're all like tucked in, you can't really tell that just by looking at him standing up.
Right?
I mean, it's like with a bird. Like when you see it like stretch its wings out, it's like, oh my god, wow, that's a big ass wingspan.
yeah, like American Eagle.
Except he's like a person-sized bird, so
So, funny enough, you're actually next to a knight at the moment who is named Dove. That's the only name he goes by, is Knight Dove.
All right.
Very regal man. He's part of an order, which he won't ever explain. He just calls it the Order. He is a Dragon Knight for the Empire. He is also waiting with you for Count Teal. So around the time when the ship comes in, Count Teal obviously comes to his home with his wife, Countess Grey, and their daughter, Lady Margaret. You see this giant 8'5", 8'7" knight also come in, who has like his like full plate ripped open and is kind of beaten and battered. And Count Teal sees you and is like, "Oh, good, you're here. I was waiting for you to come back, Chirper. How are you?"
Oh, I'm doing well, doing well.
He's a very portly man, and like just sweat like trenches off his body.
Oh, okay. And how have you been? I reach over and let's see. I'm going to see if I have some sort of cloth on me to hand to him.
Why? He sounds sexy the way he is.
No, I actually don't have any sort of cloth because in order to fly, I really pared down my inventory.
He really did. It was great. He's like, I'm going to be my own mount.
So I guess one thing I'll just sort of say as an aside about my character is that in order to try to make it realistic about his ability to fly, I pared down his weight. I figured that a bird of his size that would actually be able to fly would be about 35 pounds. And I started off with the explorer's pack, but I got rid of a very large amount of the stuff. So no rope, no hammer, no bedroll, no pitons, none of that stuff. So he's
Uh,
only carrying about 25 pounds worth of things.
Makes sense.
So I reach in my pocket for a cloth to try to hand to him, but not finding anything.
He kind of gets the clue and like takes that like a handkerchief that you can see is already like damp and like starts like patting his head and like his jowls. He's like, ah, yes. Sir Night Dove, what is happening? Why are you here? You're never here. And Night Dove speaks up and he's, I've come to you on the request of the Emperor for a band of mercenaries to investigate a certain ruin nearby, which Count Teal kind of then looks to you. Chirp. Quick question. Does Chirp have any form of pilot skills?
Yes.
We end up
I
giving
have
him airship.
proficiency in flying vehicles.
Okay, awesome. He kind of looks to you and he goes, all right, I'll start getting a band together. I think a band would work well. So we're going to leave you, Mark, for now. And we're going to go over to Chris.
Hello.
All right. So what did you end up rolling?
On what?
15.
On investigation?
Yeah.
Yep. 15.
All right, got 15. You do hear rumors of a boot somewhere?
Of a what?
Of a boot
Oh, a
somewhere.
boot. Okay. I heard the moose and I was like, that's not what I'm looking for, but okay.
It's a magical moose. It has wings.
Wow. It's like a Pegasus, but better.
Yeah, I'd take a moose over a horse if it was a mount.
Honestly, yeah.
A lot more deadly.
True. It's true. I'd be more afraid though if the moose have wings. That means the orca's probably got wings.
Ideas are coming to me. So you hear of a boot. There's also a lot of rumors about like invasions, a lot of pirates recently, a lot of really annoying like people who are trying to like grab like lots and lots of like shipments coming through the area.
Mm-hmm.
You do hear of a boot that supposedly there's a pair of boots that makes you silent. There's like people are like, oh yeah, go over to the leather worker over there. He has boots of all sorts. And that's kind of like the last of the information you get.
I go to the leather worker.
He's like, oh, hello, sir. Can I sell you some boots?
Actually, I was looking for some information.
Oh.
I
Okay.
prop up my left
You
leg.
see the boot he holds though? Like he's not a cobbler. He's a leather
okay.
like worker. So it's literally like a piece of wood and it just has like leather on the top of it. So it's more like a sandal.
Welcome to the latest trend of boots. The bootless strap.
Just strap on boot.
That's right. So I pull up my left leg and I put it on the nearest thing I can stand it on, which I hope is like a chair or something and not a bookcase where I'm doing a split.
I want you to roll a d20. Roll me a d20. There's a stool if you get above 10.
17.
Okay, yeah, there's a stool there.
Alright, so
Otherwise, it's gonna have you put it up on like the counter.
honestly, I would. I'd just be like, you see, there's this boot here. I'm searching for its matching twin. And I'm going to use acrobatics to see if I can bring up my other leg and put it onto the same stool and see if you can look at both of my feet at the same time. Just to fuck with him.
Roll an acrobatics. You are a monk. Let's see if you can balance yourself well enough for this.
I got a 19 on my acrobatics.
There you go. I was going to think DC like 18. You like balance both of like your heels on top of the stool, and you're like, one foot has boot, the other foot does not.
I need help finding the other one. Now, I hear you're quite the man of finding boots and selling boots. I was wondering if you could tell me anything about this boot. Yeah, I must warn you, I'm not taking it off, for I do not trust another man's hands on my boots.
Ah, okay. I want you to roll a persuasion.
I got a 12.
He takes a look at the belt. He goes, it looks like a common boot.
How dare you say that?
It looks really, really like a boot.
That is exactly what it is, my friend. It is a boot. Have
You
you,
want
seen
another pair of
another like
boots?
it? No. This is a perfect pair. I don't need a replacement. I need to find a match. Unless you can make me a boot just like this one, but for my other foot.
Would I be correct in assuming that if someone did make you that boot, you would just throw it at them and say it wasn't the same?
Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, depends on how well it withstands my test.
What's the test?
I'll figure it out by the time I get the other boot. Like if it
Turns out-
survives.
It like the boot you have has L at the bottom, the other boot has an R.
That's the secret.
It's the secret. That's how he knows. It also says Andy on one side. Anyways, he goes, you know who has a lot of boots? I heard the Count. He likes boots.
Count Teal?
Yes. The only Count.
Why do they call him the Count? Because of his expert math skills?
No, they call him Count because his daddy was the Count. And I'm pretty sure his grandpappy was the Count. They ruled these here lands.
I guess someone had expert math skills at some point. But, alright.
This guy doesn't seem very bright.
Well, let me ask you this. How much will this boot sell for? And I pull out the magical boot.
He goes, I don't deal with magic. I think it's dark magic.
Okay. Do you know where I can find the magic shop?
Roll a d20. Persuasion.
Did you say persuasion?
Yeah, persuasion. People don't usually like to deal with magic. There isn't really magic shops. You might have the odd wizard or alchemist.
I got a 15 on persuasion.
He goes, God damn it. I don't like dealing with it, but, I heard Ida up the road deals with them magic items.
Ida?
Ida.
Alright. Let me see if I can find this Ida.
Ida. She should be up the road. She's a little bit of a scholar. She's between me and you. Kind of loses track of things every so often.
Like her marbles?
No, just she gets lost in the clouds. Yeah, if you
Okay.
get my meaning.
Yes, she gets high. I understand the metaphor.
I didn't say that, but you do you there, buddy.
Well, thank you, good sir. I will recommend people to buy boots from you.
Oh yeah, and this thing I invented here, I called the sandal.
And what's the purpose of the sandal?
Easy to put on and off. It's good for long walks on the beach.
Are there beaches still with the islands?
There's if there's a body of water, there is, but those are super rare. Most of the water actually so below the continent is this whole layer that's basically an ocean. So people will
So there's
have
no,
wells.
there's no beaches on that ocean layer.
There's no beaches. It's literally like if you went to the elemental plane of water, it just kind of goes there. People have huge buckets and string, and it just goes miles down and then comes back up.
Mom, we got another mer person again.
Like that. So he says she's at a bookstore kind of up the road, but there's also kind of antiquities and things like that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you head over there?
Yeah, I'll head over there. And then I'll probably head over to the counts after that.
Okay. So you head over there and you see, as you open the door, you see this woman, and she's kind of in a robe, and she's running around and putting books away, and then she kind of goes, I forgot the tea. And then that's when you hear a kind of an explosion in the back of the shop as she says, I forgot the tea.
Found it.
And she's she hasn't noticed you, by the way. She goes running into the back.
I just sit down where she's setting things up and pretend I was expected.
Okay. She looks like she's 22, 23-ish, early 20s. wears big old like glasses. Kind of looks like your local librarian almost. If anyone goes to the library anymore, still one of my favorite places. So
What is this library you speak of?
I haven't been able to go in a while. It makes me sad. in my heart. Anyways, you go. You sit there, and she comes running back in, and she has like a pot that's filled with a flower
Mhm.
that's in this like green liquid.
Nice.
And then she happens to see. She goes, "Hello, Sir Creature."
Hello, my name is Noodle. I hear you deal with magic. Also, I figured as a magic person, you'd appreciate, arriving when you're supposed to. Never late or on time, just at the moment.
Are you speaking of wizards? I'm not a wizard. I'm a scholar.
Oh.
I do research artifacts and items, especially from the old ages.
How do you feel about magic boots?
Can be quite useful to adventurers.
How much would you be willing to buy one magic boot that may lead you to be able to make more magic boots?
Sounds like a pain, to be honest.
Fair. Well, anyways, I have a magic boot, and put it on the table.
She starts looking it over. She goes, "This is a very odd boot."
It's very old, too.
Yes, I mean, they don't make boots like this anymore because even before the Cataclysm, the group that... She starts, like, pointing to the symbol of the raven that's on the boot. She goes... And she starts going to, like, this really long-winded explanation that you vaguely remember, like, the librarian was trying to... Like, the ghost librarian was trying to go over with you. That you paid, like, no attention to. Yeah, it just, like, goes completely over your head, and you're like, how much do I want for the boot?
I just see the clapping monkey with symbols in my head.
We need to record some of this sometimes so they can see my hand motions because I move around way too much.
Someday.
Someday. We'll get there, guys. We're getting there. Cough, cough, Patreon. Anyways.
Shameless plug right here.
I'm trying to get us going. It'll be great. I have great ideas. Anyways.
More money, the better.
More money means I can be happy and we can fund my Red Bull addiction.
I can quit whenever I want to, Mom.
So she looks at it and she goes, I mean, if you had the full set, you could run almost like double your speed. You'd be quite quiet.
Now, what if you only have one of them?
You'd get one of the effects.
Or could you hop twice as fast?
Probably not. Maybe with that 1 foot.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, it's only on 1 foot, so you're going to be, forced into the splits each time you go too quick.
Yeah, kind of painful, that.
Yeah. So unless you're, I don't know, type of gymnast who wants to go through that pain for the Olympics or something.
What are the Olympics?
Sorry, these are sports of my people.
Sports of your people, I see.
Yes, people don't understand the ways of Dragonborn.
The Dragonborn. Aren't you guys kind of like recent?
No, I don't know.
So she kind of looks at it and she goes, well, I can trade you something for it.
What do you want to trade me for it?
I mean, she starts like going through all these objects and like going around. And she offers you another boot.
Just one boot?
No, it's 2 boots.
Oh, okay.
And she goes, well, with these boots, whenever you wear them, they'll make it look like you have halfling feet.
That's kind of cool, but wait, could I put them on and then put my other boot over them?
No.
I don't see why I want to wear them then.
Okay, let me see what else I can find. She hands you a pill. I'm gonna have to make this for you. She says, you see this pill? You swallow it and the earth swallows you.
Nice. Okay. Trade.
3 hours. Okay.
Oh, wait, only for 3 hours? Oh, man.
Yeah. And then it spits it back out.
Okay, I could use that, though. So I'm going to trade my boot for the earth pill.
All right. Write down earth or the earth pill.
Yeah, sure. I'll add it as a random item.
Just random magic items. I'll let you create it.
Yay, thank you, DM.
Because you know how to do that. I don't.
Yeah, no, I can do it.
I'm sorry, D&D Beyond is evil.
It's not evil. It just takes a bit to use it.
Ooh, I can deactivate you. Uh,
That sounds like a fucking threat. I can
That's-
deactivate you.
I can deactivate you whenever I want. Anyways, do you do anything else while you're there?
No, I'm like, all right, cool. Well, this has been productive.
She does ask you where you got it. By the way.
Oh, I went to a temple. I saved a girl, and I killed a skeleton.
Did you find anything else?
Oh yeah, that's right. I got a book, a magic book. I pull out the book. What do you think?
She starts going through the book and she's like, "Can I have this? It's useless to you."
Well, now that you want it, I want it. So, you got anything else to trade?
Um,
How about this? I have to go meet with the Count. I'm gonna hold on to it, and I'll come back and we can talk.
okay, let's do that.
Now with the ads. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. It's actually pretty cool. You know, they got transitions in there for you. They've got, different background musics you can put in. There's a lot to play with. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hey everybody, hope you guys are enjoying this new campaign so far. We'll probably be doing this one for a bit. We have a lot planned for this. If you follow us on Patreon, you may start seeing more of our updates and stuff coming out shortly. Rain has been working on this for a long time, and you'll see Mark and Rain are doing a lot of work with this. So I hope you'll see the fruits of their labor shortly. I know I'm having a lot of fun playing Noodle. In the meantime, here are the characters for this week. So first up, we have Ida, the befuddled scholar from Facebook, Jesse Henson. And then we also have Bimose from Patreon and our Discord. So if you guys want to get a character named after you, you can either join up on Patreon, you can help support the show in some way. There's all sorts of things you can do. It's just simple stuff like that. Even just leaving a review on like Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, or just, putting reviews of us out on Facebook and tagging us and this type of stuff, or on Twitter and letting us know. Anyways, thank you all for listening. And I'm trying to think what else. There's also other important things I wanted to tell you guys. No, well, it'll come to me. I'll let you know next episode, hopefully, if I remember it. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you all next week. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this week's episode. All right.
So you go running off to the Count, and you see this Kenku person, who, Mark, you see this Dragonborn come running up to you with a single boot.
I do have other clothes on, by the way.
So I just look at him sort of like a confused crow does, with the tilted the head and just sort of looking at him funny.
But I probably should have mentioned this. I want to mention that my character is in like some sort of dark blue, like monk robes, like made so that I can move in them. And my boots also like a dark royal blue. That, even though I'm dark green all over, somehow still matches with my whole outfit. But just that way, when you're saying I'm coming with only one boot, I don't want people thinking I'm just like some dragonborn with nothing
Butt
else
naked, but a boot. It's like, hi.
Hello, and that explains why lots of people did not appreciate my humor on the boat.
They're like, what's up with the boot?
That's a different kind of dungeon tale.
Welcome to BDSM Dungeon Tales.
Wearing nothing but one boot. I'll give you the other one if you ask nicely.
Anyways, back to this story.
Hold on. I'm like trying to stop myself from laughing.
Our dungeon master wasn't expecting that.
I was not expecting that, and it kind of caught me off guard.
It's the best things.
Anyways, so you kind of you see each other. We've kind of both described each other to some degree. I'm always gonna try to remember your name, but I'm gonna always get it wrong. Mark.
Chirper.
Chirper. I just keep wanting to call you Chirp or Chirpy. Chirp. You're waiting to see the Count again because the Count said he has a job for you.
Perfect.
And he needs your expertise because he has a feeling that a certain Dragonborn was going to show up one of these days. So you're kind of waiting there. Noodle is there, and then you see Jorgen shows up, and he has this like little girl next to him who's like in overalls and like covered in oil, and has like a huge wrench that's like the size of her.
Okay.
You can both make perception checks if you want.
Well, since you asked so nicely, I might as well.
I got a nat 20.
She's a normal human.
I got a dirty 20.
She's a completely normal human, but this wrench is like studded with like adamantite on it. Like all these like different things. There's scorch marks across her body. And she's just smiling like ear to ear.
Is Dove still next to me?
No, he left the day before.
Wait.
Oh, it's already been a day?
Yeah, Teal was like, go come back.
Oh, whoops.
Like,
wow, I'm
there's
sorry.
things
I missed
going
that.
on. Like, he just wanted to introduce him. Like, he wanted to say that he like acknowledged you. You saw Dove. Like, you've been staying in the mansion, and
Okay.
Dove kept coming in and out, and there seems to be something odd going on.
Well, with this one booted dragonborn, then this greasy child with this giant wrench. Yes, there is something odd going on.
Why is she greasy? Did I?
You smell smoke like coming off of her, and like diesel, like gas almost.
Jurgen, dude, face. Did you just light this person on fire?
Jurgen looks at you and goes, "Who on fire? Sugar?" Like he points to the girl.
Her name's Sugar. We're trying to make her caramel.
Yes, that is actually how I make caramel too. Anyways, I'm like, I have 7 years of cooking underneath my belt.
I know what I'm talking about.
Sugar turns to you in like the most deep, like draw Southern accent. Is like, "Honey, are you talking about me?"
Sorry, I should talk to you directly. Why are you covered in oil?
I was working on the ship.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the ship. Perfect.
Yeah.
I think the Count wanted my help with it.
Yeah.
You can show me over there?
Yeah, we're all about to go see the Count. Count really needs to see us, you see, honey. He's just...
See how many of us there are so he can work on his counting skills. Don't worry. I'm ahead of the team.
Did you bump your head?
I don't think that's the right kind. I don't think that's the Count that he is.
Jurgen knows what I'm talking about.
Jurgen like turns to the both of you and goes, "I have no idea what he's talking about."
Jurgen, don't be fucking coy.
Sugar like looks at you and she's like, "Did your parents drop you on your head?"
No. They threw me.
That explains a lot. The door opens and you see Night Dove is there. And he like motions for you to come in.
Dove. I never thought I'd say this, but you're the least strange person in the room now.
Thanks.
That's offensive to him.
He looks at you and he turns to Teal and he's like, "This is this is what." And then Teal's like, "Yes, this is the thing."
I
He's
have
like,
a name. I
okay.
say, and then with telepathy, I push my name into his head and go, Noodle.
"Yes, Sir Noodle here will be..."
Not sir. I'm not knight or anything like Jurgen or Dove.
"Noodle here will be helping us for some information he requires." They both turn to you. And the Count goes, I heard you lost a boot.
Yeah.
A very, very important boot to you.
See. That's yes, and dragon people.
I have information for you. But you gotta do something for me.
Okay.
There's some political climates that are kind of hot at the moment, which means that the Empire cannot directly interfere on a couple islands. They're what we call international air.
So you need us to do like a Black Ops team and kill some people, make them disappear?
We need you to find an item.
What's the
Very,
item?
very important item.
All right.
Chirp, I'm very glad you're here. I need your piloting skills once again. Thank you for last time.
Of course. I take it. Will you be paying me the usual fee, or am I going to get extra since we're going?
You're going to get some
international
extra.
air?
This is an actual job from the Empire. This isn't a personal favor.
All right. Now we're talking here. I'll get to eat for more than a week.
That's right. Only you and Noodle and Sugar will be going. You're going to land in a city of Tinder. It's kind of on the edge of the free waters or free air, depending on who you ask. And you'll be looking for a man called Bimose.
Bimose. Okay.
Bimose. And
quick
he
question.
Yes.
Just asking you as the DM, am I familiar with this town or land of Tinder?
Yeah, it's kind of like a small, not really a thatch village. It's a small town, basically, that's a free quote-unquote market, meaning, like, if you stole something, you want to get rid of something.
Yeah, I get it.
Supposedly, there's, like, stuff on the island that just keeps reappearing, and they're pretty sure there's a portal there. Yeah, so they're pretty sure there's a portal there that leads to another place because a lot of people come in and out that are never seen again. So they think it's probably part of like a network.
Or murder.
Sure.
Right.
So the Count turns to you both and goes, all right, Chirp, I'm going to have you fly the ship. It's a little 6-person vehicle, but I'm pretty sure you could just man it yourself. I don't know how good Noodle is, but at least from what I've been told, he can at least hold his own in a fight. Just get the information, get the item. Supposedly you don't have to go through the portals that are on the island. It's a specific ruin under a place. We don't have any more information. Bimose will tell you more, okay?
All right, now, one more time, just to recap so I don't forget on the way over there. What exactly is the information that you want?
He has the information. What we need is you to go retrieve an object. Bimose has information of where the object is. Currently, we believe it's not in possession of anyone, but it needs to be brought back here immediately and given to the Night Dove.
And only Bimose knows what this object is.
He knows what it is. We don't know if anyone else knows that the item's there.
Wait. What's the item?
And I suppose for security reasons, you can't just outright tell me or give me a hint as to what the item is?
It will look like a crystal about the size of your arm.
Okay.
It should be long and thin and nearly indestructible.
All right.
Like my penis.
Sugar turns to you.
That raises
like,
many more questions than it answers. But
Sugar turns to you and she goes, "What's a penis?"
You don't need to know.
What he said. And if he tries to explain it to you by showing you, let me know so I can kill him for you.
Chirp, you've met Sugar in the past. She's like a really sweet girl. Also, like the most expert person that knows steam engines and also is working on like a few other types of engines. Like literally built her own airship when she was like 6. Like a once in a lifetime almost genius for like this kind of field. And she's supposed to accompany you two on this adventure to make sure the ship doesn't.
I mean, it sounds like she's kind of like, she would be kind of my buddy, or maybe.
Yeah, like you two have talked and you guys have like gone back and forth, and like she's super smart, but also kind of oblivious a lot of the time. She has this weird accent that no one knows where she got it from.
The South. So it's a crystal thing we're searching for.
Yes.
That Bimose will know where it is and how to get it.
Correct.
Okay.
There might be
Is
some
there-
infiltration needed.
Okay. In terms of infiltration, what exactly are we looking for?
However to get it, like life or death.
And how much is the Empire paying us for this?
500 gold each. Possible
Now-
titles later.
Now I have a question. Another question.
Mhm.
Do you know what the crystal's going to be used for?
No. And we won't tell it. And the night dove turns to you and he's like, that's above your pay grade.
I mean, I have no problem. Just don't turn into a dildo.
Hey, Sugar, why don't you show me this airship you've been working on?
Chirp's like, I don't think the kid should be hearing this.
Conversation.
She was like, okay, like this traumatic like face. Like completely traumatized.
She didn't know what a penis was. How would she know what a dildo
I mean,
was?
if she didn't really know what we were talking about, I don't think she'd be traumatized.
Yeah,
I think
but
she'd
like,
just be,
you know, like
looking
when
out into
adults
space.
are like talking and you can tell like something like has to do with sex. Like when you're a kid and you're like, I don't want to know more about this.
Oh yeah.
That face of,
That's fair.
what? Why am I here? I want my ship. I want my engines.
By the way, how tall is she?
She's like 4'8".
Oh, she's taller than I am.
Is she?
Yeah, I'm 4 feet.
Yeah. She does stand over you, but she is small for a human.
Yeah.
She like turns to you and like she whispers. She's like, I put a stool with the ship so you could reach the handles really easily.
Oh, thanks so much.
I know we were having troubles with the last test flight. So you know it's like it's slightly smaller than like a sloop. It's like more like a personal vehicle, which there's not a lot because obviously getting the wood to build these ships and craft it's kind of hard and a pain in the ass.
So we're basically flying around on a covert ops mission in an Air Winnebago.
Yes.
Okay.
A sleek Winnebago, but yes. He says it should only take about 8 hours. It's kind of out of the way from Ashenberg. That's why it's coming under his jurisdiction. It's technically part of the Empire, but it's not. And no matter what he tells them, they won't give it to him. So Chirp starts going of Sugar, Noodle, what do you do?
I go to the count and like, so you're not going to tell me anything about the boot till they come back. That's correct, right?
Correct.
All right. How long does it take to get from here to Tinder?
8 hours.
Oh, great. All right, people, let's go. And I start rushing to the ship ahead of them. Right, pushing past them.
Roll on perception or an investigation as you try to figure out where the ship is.
11.
You don't really have an idea. You do know the mansion that you're currently in, or the manor, is like on the edge of like the harbor. And you start going like outside, and like Sugar is like, it's this way.
Oh, okay.
And you start like heading more into the mansion, and you realize that there's like an actual like boat dock for like specialists. It's not a very, like there, you see a couple boats. There's nothing as big as what you were on previously, but you do see a smaller ship.
Okay, is this the ship? Is this the ship?
Yes, that's the ship.
Great. I go and get on it.
Okay. Do you have any gear with you?
Yeah, all I got is my adventurer gear and the earth pill.
All right. So you guys all
and
load
the
up.
tome.
You guys all load up onto the ship.
Mhm.
It does have a mast, but you also notice that it kind of has like holes out of the back of the ship. There's kind of like a bigger rudder on it.
Okay.
Why are there holes in the ship?
She goes, she's like, you'll see. And kind of like does this like mischievous grin.
So before I actually step in, since I am going to be flying this thing, I'm going to do a little walk around the outside of it, through the inside, maybe check out the engine a little bit just to see what I'm working with.
So you know Sugar's come up with this like, for lack of a better term, jet propulsion system. Everyone else is kind of still relying on wind or a mage.
So you said, for lack of a better term, is it a jet propulsion system or is it something
With
else?
steam.
It's fucking brilliant.
Like,
I mean, it's no jet propulsion system. It's just steam.
yeah, but it's using the steam to push out because it's heavier than the ship, technically. The ship weighs nothing in the air.
Right. It's still the same thing.
So is it like a rocket propulsion system
Yeah,
except
with
use
steam.
That's
Technically, water is heavier than air. So it acts as a gas, like the same way a rocket would work.
That's brilliant.
So I see her grinning.
So
maniacally.
do I recognize this or what?
Oh yeah,
Am I
you've done
able
like a test flight on this. You still have like bruises from like 3 or 4 months back from the last time.
Oh, okay.
You realize this thing does go pretty fast if you like. You're like, it should go too fast, and you like pushed forward like nozzle, and it took a while to get. Luckily, you could fly. Because you kind of hit a rock kind of really hard and broke the ship.
Oh.
What's happening? It's the Titanic.
So you know that like there's like a throttle.
One more question. Does the ship have a name?
You guys haven't christened it yet, actually.
I mean,
So I guess I say to Sugar after I inspect it, well, hopefully we can christen this one before I total it again.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Caramel number 2.
Wait, what do we want to name the ship? Ships have good names. We should name it something good.
She goes, I don't have a name for it yet. It's not my ship, technically.
All right, Captain, what do you want to name it? Because I ain't flying it.
Well, why don't we put her in the air and see if inspiration strikes?
Okay.
Inspiration Strike sounds like a good name. I tied myself to some sort of pole because I don't trust the laugh she was making earlier.
There is like hammocks or beds actually underneath.
So
I stay on top just at the
just in
initial
case.
launch.
So is it just the 3 of us, or
Yeah, it's just the 3 of you. It could fit like up to like 10 people if needed. It'd be very cramped at that point. Like 6,
Okay.
you would normally you'd have you and like someone else to do the sails, the rigging. Sugar's usually okay with it, but she's not the best. She's usually in engineering, like working on the ship. So that's where we're kind of at the moment.
All right, well, so then I guess I go, all right, well, everyone in. Why don't we get this baby started? By the way, what time is it?
It's actually kind of early morning, surprisingly.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, let's get going before we lose any daytime.
Yeah. All right. I want you to roll pilot sky vehicle.
All right, so I put under my skills flying vehicles +2 because that's my proficiency. Is that fine?
Yeah, and you can put yourself as proficient.
Okay.
And I guess that would be Dex.
Oh, okay.
Would be
Well,
the
in that
ability for it.
case,
I mean, that makes sense to me. For piloting, you need Dex more than strength or anything.
no, that makes sense to me too. Let me just give me a moment here.
I think wisdom if he's doing like a newer machine, but
Driving a car does not take wisdom, though, is what I'm thinking.
I know, but like you were going from automatic to stick. You may need some wisdom to know what you're doing.
All right,
Yeah,
I got
that's
a
why-
21.
Oh, yeah, you're like, all right, no full throttle this time into a rock.
All right, so I'm gonna start it up easy, kind of get the feel of it a little bit. After I get it in the air, I'm gonna putter it in circles just to get a little bit more of the feel
It goes
of it.
nice and smooth. It's definitely a lot easier than a traditional ship. Because it has, like, that push on the back. And
Oh,
you
Sugar, I like what you've done with this puppy.
It's like, right? Like, Mama always said before she left me in the orphanage that I was a bit too smart for my own good. And so you guys put off into...
Wait, your mom left you in an orphanage?
Yeah, I don't like talking about it.
Come on. Anyway, so I
You need to give the girl a sad backstory for being a genius.
so anyways, as we
It might
So,
be explored
once we
later. You don't know.
once we get a high enough altitude that I'm pretty sure that we're clear of any land, I look over at Sugar and I grab the throttle and then I wink at her.
Okay. So you guys start heading off at a really good pace.
Well,
actually.
I meant so I grab the throttle and I wink at her, like maybe she should hold on to something.
Okay. She like immediately like sits on the ground.
So then I blast it. I blast it forward.
Okay. I'm not really good with ship speeds, but you're probably doing like 40 or 45. Our normal ship was like 10, 15. Like on average. And like
You're talking knots, right?
Yeah, it's just like, poof, and you just start flying along. She does give you a warning that there's a limited amount of fuel. So
Okay, I wanted to see if Noodle fell over though. That was kind of the main thing.
Okay, Noodle, make we'll say a deck save, and then
I think that'll be okay.
I want it versus your pilot check, Mark.
I got that.
The original can it be the original 21? Oh, okay. Well,
You got an
whatever.
extra 20. It doesn't matter.
I got that. Yeah, I have a 26.
You like surfer, like do it. You're like arms up, out moving.
Yeah, I untie my rope. I was like, oh, this isn't that bad.
All right, then I guess then I'll put it back to normal speed, and I go, "All right, Dragonborn, you're all right."
Yeah. All right.
I mean,
so that's
yes, I could fly.
oh, that's right. You can fly too. I don't think the flight speed.
No, my flight is not like his though. Mine's more like a glide.
Right. So we're gonna take a break here for now. Hopefully everyone's enjoying so far, or a lot of fun.